Today I have a 1996 Volkswagen GTI, and if your wheel does this, you most likely need a wheel bearing. And today I'm going to show you how to replace a wheel bearing on a 1996 Volkswagen GTI. Off before we get started, we're going to need to come over here and get the tools. First, you're going to need a new bearing and the hardware that comes with it. I'll take that. You're going to need some ratchets, breaker bar, torque wrench, outer tie rod puller, screwdriver, Phillips for the brake caliper. You're going to need a 30mm for the axle nut, you know what I mean, the CV nut. And you're going to need a 17mm to take the brake caliper off. You're going to need an 18mm for the shocks. You're also going to need an 18mm also here to hold it down while you're taking it off. And you're going to need a 19mm to take the outer tire rod bolt. And you're going to need, well, this is a universal because I couldn't find my 16mm, but this is for the ball joint. And of course you need a cold Mountain Dew to do any job. And you definitely need jack stands and a good jack. Put a tire over there for safety. And now it's time to get in to get this wheel bearing off. Okay, and the first step is to actually take the brake caliper off. And there's two bolts back here. And they are 17mm. As you can see, I loosened them up already. You take these out, and you'll be able to take the whole caliper off. I personally took the brake caliper off and I actually twisted it up because you don't want to hang it by the hose because it can damage it. So you can just I personally got some welding wire, and now it's hanging from the shock tower. Next, you're going to want to take the outer tire rod off, and that will be your 19mm wrench. You want to go ahead and take that off. Good thing I already loosened it up. Keep that in a safe place. And this is what we got this for, is to actually pull it so you don't have to damage anything. So first thing is first. Put this here. Now here at the workshop, definitely got to have a press because it took me about 2 hours even with the press. It's pretty hard, but I recommend a bearing puller you can get at Harvest Freights. Amazing. But here's the knuckle of my car. Pressed out the bearing, and make sure when you do this that here's the front of the car where the wheel sits on. You want to take the bearing and push it out towards the road. See, here's the back piece. You want to push the bearing that way, and then when you install it, you do it opposite. You push it in. And here's the bearing. Looks like a big skateboard bearing, if you ask me. I love skateboarding. And here's also the hub. See, I took off the ABS, and it's actually right here. It's held by screws. It's held by screws. This one looks like it, I don't know, it looks weird. Who knows? I'm going to put that back on there after everything else is done. But this is the hub. You got to take that out too after the bearing, and then it fits right in there like so. Now done with the press. Come all the way over here now. Don't forget the little clips here. I forgot those, and I actually had to go and get another bearing, because after it's in, there's no going out. You ain't going back after it's in, because if you do, you're going to mess up the bearing and you're going to need a new bearing. Trust me, I know from experience, because it just happened to me. But so don't forget, you got a pin on the back, and then before you press the hub in, you have a pin in between there. It looks just like this, that you basically put in a groove so you can hold the bearing in place. It's very important, very important. So here is this. That was the hard part. Now to install it, all you do is reverse how you took it off. Alright, now everything's back on. Basically, you will see it on your car. It's pretty easy to take the knuckle off. But the axle nut, this is the thing. It's complicated. When you put everything on, you tighten it snug tight with the tire off. And then when you lower the car, take everything down, you want to torque it down to 200 Newton meters. Then loosen a half of a turn. And then get in the car, rotate the tire a half of a turn, and then tighten it back up to 50 Newton meters and a 1/6 of a turn.